you can see behind me here, it is a sign of solidarity. There are hundreds of tow truck drivers here that are they're here to pay their respects to Todd Burgess. And you take a look around, and they're all getting ready to line up to take a procession down the 401.
Story, but can you go a little deeper when we talk about those outlying fields that will also be affected?
Well, that's right, Crystal. We've spoken with a number of employees from across the region, and honestly, we've heard a lot of stories from employees from, take for instance, Lear Whitby. They make the bucket seats for GM vehicles, Syncreon Automotive, among a number of other businesses.
We also heard that police seized a homemade improvised explosive device during one of the raids. So what more can you tell us about that?
Yes, they did say that they found something called explosive elements. Now, they were able to seize that device from one of the homes that was raided in the RCMP raids on Thursday. Bill, Limestone trustees just began their open session. On the agenda tonight, a motion from trustee Lori French.
Okay, Frazer.
Shauna, it could mean another chance for Uber drivers in the city. Now, one of those drivers reached out to our newsroom, informing us that the Competition Bureau is now investigating that new bylaw that was due to go into effect tomorrow. It's been a very busy day here. Now, what we do know so far is that after these RCMP raids happened in the two neighborhoods, one in just west of downtown, somebody has been charged. A minor has been charged, and they're terror-related. This isn't the first time where a marijuana dispensary has been robbed in this region. Earlier in the summer, at least 2 other stores were hit, including one where an employee fought back with a bomb. If you take a look at the side of the building, you can see the sheer force that this blast caused. The side of the house has been pushed out, along with the windows being blasted out. Christina, a neighbor, was home when it all happened. Now, officials say this is the 35th dash they've done in a Toys R Us store throughout Canada, and the first one in Durham region, but they say it would not be possible without donations to the Starlight Foundation. Very busy morning for police here in Belleville. They responded to a serious incident at 7 a.m. They received calls that there was a male barricaded in a home. Alan, Durham Regional Police are canvassing the area, trying to figure out exactly why this teenager was shot overnight. Now, we've learned that neighbors believe this could have been retaliation after a violent fight at an Oshawa mall last month. Devon Pharmacy was not the only location hit, according to police. Investigators are also looking into a robbery here at Guardian Pharmacy, just a few kilometers down the way. And they're also looking at whether or not the two are connected. Now, the goal of Durham Live is to help liven up the city of Pickering and the whole Durham region. This building behind me is the new casino. It will be joined by a hotel and concert venue. That phase is expected to be complete by 2020. Frazer Snowdon, Global News, Pickering.
They lost one of the 2 roofs out of the car.
Camaro owner Joseph DeRoche couldn't believe it when he realized his prized possession, a 1987 Camaro, had just rolled away in a brazen theft over the weekend.
Never ever felt that feeling before. When I seen the garage doors open and the car was gone, I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I was in shock.
A devastating blow to DeRoche, who has been working on the car for the past few years. It was recovered by police, but in pretty bad shape.
It won't even turn over. It won't even start.
Police say the alleged thieves took the car from a home on Quebec Street, then taking it to Bowmanville, where one of them was arrested.
That vehicle was driving at a high rate of speed. It entered the 401, but officers discontinued following that vehicle.
A short time later, that's when Crystal Baker, an Oshawa resident, captured this exclusive video.
And so we saw this really cool car come off the highway, but it was smoking. And it came down the highway really slow. And a gentleman got out of the vehicle and started to push the car.
The moment Joseph's Camaro appears to have broken down, spewing smoke from the car. But what happened after made them think differently.
The gentleman ran across the highway exit here.
Several minutes later, Durham Regional Police had the area surrounded.
Within minutes, there was 9 cruisers, and that was just on our street.
Following a short search in the neighborhood, he was later tracked down by police hiding in this backyard.
He skedaddled through there, opened this door here, and crawled underneath the back there.
Where the suspect was hiding under a porch, the canine dog was able to apprehend that male. He was taken into custody.
Joseph is thankful to have the car back, but he'll now have to wait until next summer before he can get it back on the road. Frazer Snowdon, Global News. Keeping tabs on crime in Durham is a team effort. Cruisers patrol the streets daily, but sometimes it helps to have a different vantage point. That's when Air One, the region's very own police helicopter, swoops in.
We will respond to any call for service that our dispatch center sends us to that they think that we will be of assistance to.
Those calls could be for anything, and they can come at any time, day or night.
3 parties on scene that are using the construction equipment. They're receiving multiple burglar alarms inside the school, the entrance by the gym.
On a recent ride-along, Air One was called in for a possible break-in at an Ajax school. After a short time, its infrared camera located the suspects.
Break. I got 3 parties running southbound.
Shortly after, police lit them up with the spotlight, leading to their arrest.
Within one orbit, we observed 3 suspects who had committed a break-and-enter fleeing the scene. We were able to coordinate a takedown of the 3 suspects.
A quick sequence of events that may not have been otherwise possible.
There was a study done in 1999 by the University of Southern California that said that one police helicopter was the equivalent of 15 two-person police cruisers.
That's because Air One is equipped with state-of-the-art tools.
So in this gimbal are 3 cameras. There's a low-light camera, a high-definition day camera, and a thermal imaging camera.
And impressive speeds as well. For example, it could travel from Bowmanville to Pickering within 10 minutes' time. And they can be invaluable in a variety of situations. From 2,000 feet above the ground, Air One can actually see a license plate on a car. It can also use thermal imaging to help provide leads.
We can see after a vehicle's been sitting stationary in a parking lot and has left, we can see that heat is still in the pavement, and we can estimate how long that the vehicle has left the scene.
Although some may be concerned about privacy, police say the camera is limited.
It's not seeing through glass. It's not seeing into people's homes. We just would be able to measure the heat of the outside.
But for those who do cross the line, keep in mind, police are watching.
When we are out on a general patrol in the helicopter, we are actively looking at what's going on around us.
Frazer Snowdon, Global News. It's calm waters now, but 24 hours ago, residents on Cedar Beach in Bowmanville saw a different scene.
The waves were coming very quickly. We were getting much more aggressive waves than even in 2017.
As much as we have sandbags to protect below, the waves were coming up and being blown and hitting to the top of our deck.
Those waves, reaching 10 feet at times, lasted most of the day, according to people living here. So powerful, they moved massive rocks as well.
It grabbed the stone that is now sitting in the lake and dragged it away.
The water flowing over sandbags, flooding their properties as well as some basements.
So this is our basement where the water came in.
Gord Giffen had at least 2.5 inches of water in his basement. He's lived on the lakefront for more than 40 years. He says although it was a big event, he believes they were ready.
But again, we were a lot better prepared for it. The water splashing and the winds, it's hard to be completely prepared.
Unfortunately, flood events in this region is something all too familiar to those living here. It was back in 2017 when dozens of people had to leave their homes due to flooding. Now, after knowing what to prepare for, residents do feel ready, but believe more has to be done.
We need to have something that's going to interrupt the wave energy that's coming from the lake.
The region remains under a flood warning as officials say the water levels are still above average. Frazer Snowdon, Global News.
It's Saturday, August the 10th, 2019.
Riding the high seas, or in this case, the Great Lakes, can be a task for even the most experienced sailors.
We had some obstacles, but we just forged ahead.
And Stephen Van Vlanderen also has another obstacle to deal with.
There's been days where I can't function because the muscles are stiffening up and the joints are painful.
The 70-year-old was diagnosed with Parkinson's nearly 9 years ago and told he should give up sailing, something he just began. But he says when he's on the water,
when I'm sailing, I'm so focused that I forget that I have Parkinson's.
the Winnipeg man decided he wasn't going to let Parkinson's hold him back and wanted to realize his lifelong dream of sailing the Great Lakes. The journey dubbed Sail On with Parkinson's was no easy feat either. Over 2 summers, they traveled 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, an adventure that was initially stressful.
I had to give my head a shake. What was I doing?
But after they started, he and his partner Darlene, who's also his crewmate, noticed a change.
But to see him, the stress reduced over last summer, and then this summer, him taking into stride.
As the days went on, I got more confident.
Van Vlanderen says raising $9,000 for Parkinson's as well as awareness has helped drive this project forward.
It needs funding. It needs research. It needs programs. And it's important. It was important to me to get that message out.
Now the boat is coming out of the water for the season, but Van Vlanderen hopes his trip and perseverance will inspire others.
Apply yourself and not let the disease define you.
Frazer Snowdon, Global News.